What's up, guys? Welcome back to another war video. This is Ardenal 7. This is Season 47, War number 2, LVT versus Legion. I've got 6 fights today. I am bringing Human Torch, Lady Deathstrike, and Magneto for Path 9 in Section 1, Path 4 in Section 2, Node 38 Sasquatch, and Node 40 Sauron. Alright, first up I have Human Torch versus Ebony Maw on Node 9. My Human Torch is rank 5 and Ascended. I will not be using my Flame On pre-fight here. I'm saving that for a Sasquatch later on. But I am boosted up nice and big here. So this has Hazard Shift, Incinerate, Poison. So what we're going to do is just try to attack during the Incinerate phase, and then back off a little bit during the poison, so I don't kill myself down with the poisons. I am running an indestructible boost just in case, but I still can't push Ebony Maw to an SP3. Ideally, I'm baiting SP1s, but here we're in poison, so I'm just kind of backing off, making sure to block to keep my my smolders moving. But there we are, back to Incinerate. So damage time again. This is a pretty straightforward fight. As long as you keep your temperature up, you won't miss. As long as you don't push Ebony Maw to an SP3, you won't get degened, and then obviously don't get hit. And then when we hit poison, we'll pause and try to back off again. So one more Incinerate phase, and this should be done. There's an SP2. I'm just going to hold block. Back to Incinerate, and we can kill him here. Nice and simple. Alright, next up I have Lady Deathstrike versus Bishop on Node 18. This node has Hazard Shift, Incinerate, Poison, and Feat of Indestructible 1, so when I get a bar of power, he will have an indestructible buff on him. So this fight takes a little bit longer than I wish it would. First of all, during the Incinerate phase, I am trying not to hit Bishop, so just backing off here. I am going to get cornered, so I'm just going to hit out a little bit just to make sure I'm not stuck there. And then we're into poison phase, so I will be attacking here during poison. Lady Deathstrike takes way reduced damage from poison, though I'm guessing that this defender has the Inequity and Despair masteries, because I don't seem to be healing very much with those poisons on, and my damage seems reduced. There's the indestructible he gets from when I get a bar of power. We are back to poison, so back to damage phase again. Once I throw some specials, I do a little bit of decent damage. But the poisons and the incinerates and just kind of block damage, it is ticking me down quite a bit, more than I'd like. So I think if I ran this fight again, I think I'd absolutely run suicides, just to try to get a little bit more damage in during those brief phases where I actually can. I'm not running a tech power back boost because I don't want to be shot back up to a bar of power, giving him the indestructible, but he's got it there because I'm back to my first bar. Just kind of wait that out, plus it's Incinerate. So just backing off here. I do prefer pushing Bishop to SP2. I can full dex it if I need to, but also he does not gain any prowess. Plus, if I keep the heal block on him, then he will not be able to go unblockable with a special attack. So it's perfectly safe to just take it into block. I think he's going to throw one more SP2 here in this fight, which I'm going to try to dex the end of, and I do get clipped. But Lady Deathstrike's regen mechanic on special attacks is keeps me from losing too much health here. There's another indestructible. Here's that SP2 I mentioned. Yep, do get clipped, but regen 90% of it. No big deal. And then we will just get in here for the kill. Alright, into Section 2, I'm taking Path 4. And first up is a Baron Zemo on Node 22. I will be using Magneto here. I've taken this fight on different nodes in seasons past. It's a fight I'm very comfortable with. We're just going to heavy punish Baron Zemo's heavies, and we are going to heavy punish his SP1, and then as soon as we get our SP3, he is dead. So I use a PS1 to start just to get to that SP3 a little bit faster. I did throw on mutant special boost, mutant power back boost and stuff, just in case, but This is a pretty trivial fight for Magneto as long as you know the spacing for his heavy and his SP1, which I'm well practiced with. So already at 2 bars of power, just got to get to that third one. Certainly you just want to bait the SP1s. The node is not too big of a deal. The magnetism turns off most of the debuffs you're going to get, but obviously if you got a couple bleeds on you and you had 3 debuffs in total, he'd be unblockable. I had a game plan for that, just trying to intercept bait SP1 still, but thankfully magnetism works in my favor here. I'm to my 3rd bar power. I'm just trying to get a chance where I can charge a heavy, so heavy punish there in the corner, charge up so I'm at 30 prowess, throw the SP3, and he's going to come out of this alive, but the tick of the red damage is going to kill him. And that's the fight. Next up is Apocalypse on node 31, the second fight on path 4 in section 2. I'm using Lady Deathstrike. The game plan here is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use medium ending combos to keep my heal block up to make sure that he is not unblockable at all. The other part of this node is that I will occasionally, I think it's like every 10 seconds, get a Power Sting debuff, but then every 10 hits of your combo removes it. For the most part, I don't need to worry about it because I've got long combos and long special attacks that ramp up my combo meter pretty quickly. Obviously, if I can avoid throwing a special when there is a Power Sting on me, I will certainly try to do so. But for the most part, Lady Deathstrike makes that pretty trivial. As long as I have my heal block up, he will not be unblockable, although with the node, the tactic rather, he still does a whole lot of damage through block with specials. So, if you can get intercept, great. I'm just focused more on making sure that it's never going to be unblockable. I'm going to win this health race. And you can dex like the first couple hits or the last hit on the SP2 if you want, which I do there. Just making sure I keep the heal block up. I haven't had to use too many potions yet, but that is definitely a consideration, especially when you have multiple fights with the same champion. With this tactic, it's certainly heavy on your item usage, but we are almost out of this. I'm going to block this last SP2 and punish, and one more special should do the trick. I throw the striker first, even better. And Apocalypse is down. Next up, I have Sasquatch on node 38. I am using Human Torch, and I am using the Flame On pre-fight here. I was also given a Wags so that I could stun him because he's got knockdown protection and debuff immunity after he's knocked down. So between the 2 pre-fights, I can stun, I can apply my debuffs, everything's good there. So I'm just going to try to knock him down as much as I can. I can, heavy, or parry heavy. I can heavy punish his SP2, just trying to keep him knocked down when I can. So there's a heavy punish of the SP2. And then obviously we're just going to watch the Wrath stacks to know when he can't be stunned anymore, and also when he's going to have Unstoppable and all that normal Sasquatch stuff. Trying to hit him often just to keep the prowess down as well, and trying to bait SP2s. You can dex the SP1 as well, but if you get clipped, you get stunned. It's just the SP2 is a little bit easier. So here he's in Wrath. I'm just trying to stay away from him. He's got the extended Unstoppable from the SP2. You can punish the heavy Unstoppable during Wrath, but the SP2 is a little bit harder timing-wise. So my debuffs are going to keep him from regenning as well. And there's another SP2 for me, and this fight is just about done. And that's it. Alright, last up, I have Sauron on node 40. I am using Lady Deathstrike. I took this fight in War number 1 as well. That was my first time seeing that matchup, so a little bit better prepared this time. This time I don't have Suicides on, but I do know that I can actually use specials, which I was unsure of going into the first time. But again, with Lady Deathstrike versus tactic attackers, I want to try to keep them in the corner, try to bait their better specials in terms of either dexing or ones that aren't going to hurt as much. So for Sauron, that's just the SP1, and I'm going to keep heal block up, which will make sure that he is not unblockable. And also he has got some regen, so the heal block helps with that as well. But there's an SP2, does pretty good damage. Just going to try to keep him in the corner, keep him throwing his SP1s. Oh, I should have ended that with a medium ender, but I tried to get fancy there. So I do get clipped, lose my indestructible boost, but the regen from her ability during specials helps me not lose too much health. But certainly should have made sure to end that combo in a medium, even if it was just like a medium, light, medium or something. There's an SP2, which you see hits much harder than the SP1, which is why we try to limit him to the SP1 typically. But overall, nice and safe fight, and it is done. That wraps up war number 2. 6 fights up, 6 fights down. Happy to get out of that one. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody.